All right, it's Tuesday night. Back here in the shop. It is 8:47. I've been down here for half hour or so. Had some other things we had to take care of, so pushed me behind. Coop, you can see he's right there. He's live. He's doing his live thing. He is working on that kukri sheath. He shot some video last night. He worked off camera, and then he's going to give us a quick rundown at the end of today. And I'm putzing around. I basically lost the night. I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot because I have a noise curfew soon. I can run the grinder, can't run any of the saws, stuff like that. So tonight might be a bust, but I'll push my luck and sneak down here tomorrow night and try and get some stuff done. So we're getting to the point where I'm honestly starting to get a little bit burnt out. We're on that kind of, we had a big push, we had a lot of work, and we've gotten real good, so it's time to start playing around. Something we've decided we're going to do a little bit more is just play.
So,
be creative, stuff like that.
10 minutes to 9, and I think it's about time for me to wrap up.
There you go. He's wrapping up. See? End of the night.
This
so,
piece.
I'm going to work on, we'll catch you here in a bit. All right, stream's over. I'm going to close all that down here in a minute. But let's talk about some of the stuff that we got to help make DTM better when we're out on the road. We got a battery-powered palm sander, Orbital, which I am very excited about. We got two of these bad boys. These are the 4 amp hour, the not the big boys. They do make bigger ones, but these are pretty good. We got our Sawzall. Okay, use that to harvest materials. This is, I think this is the 3 amp. This is the drill we've had forever, but again, another big battery. Okay. We ended up with 3 new tools. 3 new tools. And then 4 batteries. 2 4 amp hour, 1 3 amp hour, and 1 of the standards. But this is what we were after. This is what started it all. We got the entry-level angle grinder. Okay, this will probably live most of its life with a wire wheel on it, but we did use it today to cut some steel, and it boogies. So let's flip the camera around. We'll show some progress here on the messy bench, and kind of show you guys what I have been up to. Which is not a whole lot. I didn't get down here all that often because I'm hurting pretty bad, but we'll show you what we got up to.
Okay, so there's something to be said about what's going on here, and I think I'm just going to come out and say it. I'm an asshole, and I forgot. A couple of nights in a row, I was doing work with my leather stuff, and I forgot to do the dang recappening. So, here we are, doing the recappening. Boom. Alright, that insert is now, that insert is now sewn in. Last night, boom, that insert is now sewn in. Taking some advice, and at least a little bit of somebody talking to me online, I did decide to put some holding pieces in to keep that wet molding down. I haven't gotten any farther on those. This one was Tuesday night I worked on. This one was Wednesday night I worked on. And tonight, I put those in, I let them dry, and then I realized I'm not sure about this sheath. So I need to take this in and have somebody take a look at it. I have to, because I think I need another welt, but I'm not sure. So we're going to leave those there that way for now. And I'm going to confer with Chaco and possibly the customer on this guy right here. Right here, this particular sheath, I did cut out some more welt material for that. So we're going to hopefully, maybe in the next couple of sessions, we're going to do the belt loop for this guy. It's going to be another one of these style. This one's a little bit smaller, but I think it'll come out all right. Over here, we have the belt loop strap, cut and punched. We still have to put it on this. Do need some extra welt material for that, so that's something to keep in mind. So that we can get that little mini sax finished and complete. Okay, now on to pièce de résistance. So that, I don't know if you can tell from the video, it's a very dark brown, and I really like it. The belt loop's in, the wet molding's done, it holds, and if you look, belt loop's in there, the sides are burnished relatively well. I'll get better at those as I make sheath, but that right there, I think, is one of my most successful leather sheaths, and I say I'm a bit proud of it. A couple of things I'll do different next time, but that's the joy of learning. So that guy is done as of tonight. So it has been an absolute full week for me, and hopefully Chaco can cut this up and make it into a couple of different days. Either way, like I said, we got a lot going on here, and I still have one more to make for our green-handled knife. Not the Grenadier, but our other green-handled knife. So, awesome, because it's like 11:30 now, and I've just been going ham. So, boom. Progress! Okay, somebody has been a very busy boy tonight. I did not get as far on this as I wanted to, because I needed to do a second coat of dye. Really set in that black, really get that red nice and deep. So here are our inserts, dyed and ready for glue up. We're going to glue, we're going to then sew those inserts in, and I'm going to leave those top flaps, I think, a little bit loose until we're ready to go ahead and put in the snap for it, and make sure that they're used as the protectors, which they are. This guy over here, right here, got dyed in that, I think it's Cordovan, if I can't remember what it's called, in the Cordovan brown, and I think that's just going to look real tight once it dries. We get a little bit of a scuff, and some of that neat's foot on it. It's going to be tight. It's going to be real tight. I got this here cut out and punched, ready to go for sewing onto somewhere in this pile of nonsense is my plan. Anyhow, over here we had to wet mold that. That got jacked up. So I re-wet molded it, so it's got to dry. Right there, that knife is actually wrapped in plastic, and everything's kept tight. Under here somewhere are additional knives. Right here, right here is the next sheath for homeboy right here. That guy is going to go into this guy. I am getting the first welts ready to go on there, and here's the back of it. We're going to have to put some more welts on those. I did find that out with that sheath, that I have to do a double welt, and that's okay, because it's going to get glued up and sewn together, and it's going to look tight, which is the goal. I'm seeing that I'm doing a lot of double welts. Maybe that's because of the way I choose to make my sheaths, but I don't know. The back of that sheath is somewhere around here. I know it, because I had the damn thing earlier. Where the hell did I put it? Anyways, so yeah, that's the progress. We've got the inserts ready to be sewn together onto our kukri sheath. We've got this bad boy right here ready to get that noise right there. We've got a belt loop, which I left out because I'm going to use that as, oh, I got to trace that out. Look at me, I'm running out the mouth. Anyhow, we got this bad boy dyed. We've got the stitch grooves laid in. We've got some of the stitch punching already begun. and we're going to sew that up hopefully tomorrow or maybe Wednesday night. But it's Monday, and I done got busy. And I got to find the back of that sheet there. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you guys after my next, battle of leather.
Okay, this place is a hot mess, but we blanked out our next set. This is our French pattern chef and a Nakiri. Okay, this is that 3/32, that just laser thin stuff. This is really nice stuff to work on. So those are going to get heat treated Saturday, and hopefully are in handle scales next week. We are going to be using teak. We have this gorgeous teak wood that is supposed to look just amazing when it's stained. Okay. This guy is in its handle scales. All right, beautiful black liners. Okay, we're gonna have to get that hand sanded up and ready to go. Didn't do a thing, 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 did a thing. Okay, we just went with some simple gray liners. All right, we didn't want to go too bold right out the gate, but just something interesting, something different to break it up. So we have that guy, which is hardened, which is ready to go. It needs some hand sanding. Didn't do a thing there, but this will be also going into some hand sanding, because it is really close. Like, we have a little blemish right there at the top of my thumb. Okay, and we still have to clean that goober up. But once that's done, this will be ready to go. And I think we're going to see what our buddy Cruel Point Designs is doing. See if maybe he wants to work on that. Okay. In other news, we have anther. Those are two of our EDKs that are just looking spicy. This is Birchwood Casey's Gun Blue. Now they're wet because we just coat them in WD-40 while they sit in here. This is something we worked on. I don't like the handle. I don't like much about it. I'm not sure what we're going to do with it. One of our utility knives that needs some handle scales. And then these guys, we're waiting on our handle material for these. These are our 01. So bevels need to be cleaned up, and they'll need handle scales. But the handle scales should be here next week, so we can do a mad rush. Right, so it is officially crunch time. We are 2 weeks away, give or take, from our first show of the year. Yeah, it's late in the year, but the shows still weren't 100% on. So we've got our work cut out for us. In addition to this, we have to finish one more of our tactical coffee kits. We have to finish at least one, if not two more bar sets. We have one that's kind of ready to go. We have another one that we're going to be working on here soon. And then we've got some forged projects we've got to work on. 3D printer projects. So we got a lot of stuff, new tools, new things like that to hopefully expedite the process. Because right now, we got a lot of knives to go. Now, I did send out all but 2 of the 109th special editions. I have a couple more I have to finish. Those are for some really good guys who actually had some special requests who are going to take some time. But other than that, I've got a couple guys back there on the wall, like that guy. That guy needs a sheath and an edge. Those guys need handle scales. I have to figure out what I'm going to do for those and get them on order. And that guy needs hardening. The rest of these are all works in progress that are going to take some time. Like this. Okay, this guy has been just... I've been working on this forever, so we'll figure something out. We'll get it one of these days. But got stuff like that floating around. Anyway, it is Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow I likely won't get down here. I am hoping that Saturday will be a nice, full work day. With my knee in the condition it's in, I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to work all day. But we're going to have Coop. We're going to have a special guest. We might have Jote. I'm not sure. Maybe I can put these guys to work on a couple more projects to help me out. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, that's all we got for tonight. I have been running the 3D printer hard. So let me show you one of the things that I have been knocking out on the 3D printer is these guys. Okay, I call them my hourglass stands. So you take your knife, you don't put it on a drill bit. You put your knife just like that. Okay? And it holds the knife just peachy. It holds it in there beautifully. Gives you a chance to show off your handle, your blade. Simple, elegant, quick to print. All right. And accommodates knives of any size. It doesn't care. Whatever you got, you can fit in there. Now, the Nakiri is going to sit a little bit awkward because the blade doesn't taper. But, you know, I could put a little guy in there. I could put whatever I need in there, and that's great. So, we have a bunch of those, as well as a couple of other stands. Sorry, just terrible camera work. We have a bunch of those. A couple of other style of stands, but basically, we're going to load up on different things. We're also going to start building, hopefully Saturday morning before it kicks off, our display. Because we are going to try and not go under the glass case, but try something different. So, we'll see what happens. I have no idea if it's going to work or not, but we're going to try it. And if it doesn't work for this show, we'll push it to the next show. Who knows? So, anyway, love you guys. I'll see you Saturday. Have a good night. Hey, it's Saturday! Back here in the shop. It is currently 12:15. I have been down here for about 2 hours, doing minuscule tasks. Little things that need to get done that are not really film-worthy. I did shoot a little bit of video, but we will show you what was going on if you just bear with for a second. So, flip the camera around. It's his turn to get me with something really loud. So once the compressor cuts off, I'll shoot again. All right, Saturday, close call. Work called. Thought I was going to have to leave. Turns out I do not. So it's good. We can continue back down here. But now we'll flip the camera, and you can see some of the stuff that we've done in the background. Quick update, and then we unfortunately have to kick the stream. Something is tempering in here. We'll show you when it's done or towards the end of the night. But first, let me take a selfie. No, I'm sorry. Let's take a look what's on the bench. All right, by the end of the day, that's going to be in glue up. I haven't decided if I'm going to use the gun blue on this or not. So we'll see. Right now it is in a satin finish out of the sandblaster. So pretty nice. We'll wipe it down and we'll see what's going to happen. Might grind on this a little bit later, but these two, they have a heavy coat of wax on them for storage. They just came out of the gun bluing. Okay, there's a little bit of smudge on them. Don't mind that. But these are also going to get glued up by the end of the day. Didn't touch it, didn't touch it, didn't touch it. Coop dropped off one of his leather projects. Okay. Just a nice, simple little guy. So, unfortunately, it is for a lefty. So, lefties, hit me up. I got a sheath just for you. Shut up. Then we have these guys. I think we talked about these during the week. I'm not sure, but we'll rehash it. These are for our shows. We have a bunch of shows coming up in the not too distant future. So this is how we plan to display the knives. Blade sits right in the front. Handle sits right there, and it just props it up oh so Beautiful. So these take about 3 hours to print. Don't use a whole lot of filament. So I have been knocking them out en masse. I have a couple of dozen of them upstairs. So it's about all we got here on the bench. That's all we have on the bench. So we're going to get to work. You can see the forge in the ever so whitewashed view is right there. I'm going to fire that up here in a little bit and get hot and popping on the next. So, and there goes the camera. So anyway, we'll see in a bit. All right, that ends Saturday. Today has been a stupid productive day. If it was not for the fact that my knee is on fire right now, we would probably still be going. We're going to work through all of the stuff that we got done today. Huge thanks to the Coops, plural, because we got 2 of them today.
Also Coop.
Okay. Doing some hand sanding. The normal Coop, the one who's always here, he hit on it. I hate hand sanding.
Yes.
Thankfully, these guys took care of the hand sanding. Looks great, by the way. So, the meat laser got its hand sanding, which means in a couple of days, I can attach the handles. But let's flip the camera around, and we'll show you what we have going on right down here in a nice, just swoop, right down that way. All right. This guy we forged out primarily the last time we were in the forge, which was, 2 weeks ago? But today we got it narrowed down. We did a tiny bit of cleanup here in the front of the handle. Okay, we knocked in the tip just a little bit, and we started to rough grind. It is a bit... This bearing steel's tough stuff, so I have to anneal it before I'm going to do any more work. The oven is running right now, so once it's done, we'll put in an annealing cycle. This is a piece of leaf spring that we recovered from another project. My vision is a big barbecue knife, something that's at home cutting a rack of ribs, or fine enough to do some steaks or anything like that. I'm also kind of picturing something like this in a little bit more rugged kitchen knife, although I gotta tell you, after looking at it, it is pretty chunk. So we might do something different with that. I'm not sure. Not sure. Who knows? This is another kitchen knife style. You can see a relatively flat curve on the bottom. Nice sloping point. Also, again, a bit thick, but it gives me room to grind out hammer marks. So all 3 of those will get put in the oven for an annealing cycle. This is a ball bearing. That's a ball bearing, now that I remember. This is bearing race, so they should both be the same material, roughly 52-100, so should be able to work that the same. This is likely leaf spring, so that'll get a completely different heat treat cycle. This little guy, Coop designed this today. This is a DTM's interpretation of a lineman's knife, something you would find an electrical worker carrying, which is a gift for a very good friend. So we are very much excited to get that all finished. That's going to have some pretty trick scales. This guy is coming up to temp. In here we have 2 knives that we designed on our last live stream, and one that I have forged about 4 dozen times and heat treated at least 2. I joke. But anyway, they are in their temper cycle. It is still slowly coming up to temp. So about 2 hours at 400 degrees is where that'll live. Trick that I learned from Knife Talk is leave it cracked, not latched. That will keep it hovering around 400, and once it's at 400 for a little bit, then you can close the door. Moving over here, we have a giant mess, but that's because work was done. Glue up on 2 of the 109 specials, the last 2 that have to get done. The as yet unnamed project got glued up. The vegetable destroyer is getting closer. Okay, the profile is getting ground in pretty good. There's some inconsistencies, but nothing too bad. So hopefully that'll be in glue up in a couple of days. Didn't do anything. And this is the meat laser. that we were talking about that now has a beautiful hand sanded finish. Okay, nice satin, nice clean rub pattern. Hey. So that'll get glued up here in a couple of days. That thing is awesome. I don't know why I waited this long to get it. And these are our beautiful knife stands. We talked about these before, a little bit earlier. I 3D printed a bunch of these, so we have them for the show. Gentlemen, and I use that term loosely in at least one sense. Yeah. In 3 words or less, your thoughts for the day.
Purple, kitty cat, soup. Work. Good work.
That's 3. Hey, you guys can both do math. So today was a really good day. Like I said, if it wasn't for the knee, we'd still be going. Pygmy Forge is just still chooching.
Proper chooching.
Chooching proper. Pygmy Forge is running good, so we got a bunch of stuff knocked out and primarily shaped. We are in a good place for our first show, May 8th and 9th. It's a 2-day show in Tunkhannock, PA. If you're local, you do have to buy tickets for this one. It's a ticketed event. You know, COVID nonsense and things like that. But either the week before or the... Quiet, you. Either the week before or the day after the show, whatever we have available will go live. We have a lot of products that aren't listed right now because we have just been so busy knocking them out. But anywho, I 3D printed some things. We'll see if we can mix those in. Hopefully they came in before we mentioned this. And I know Coop has some video for me.
Yes.
So we'll make sure that his stuff is in there. Otherwise, it's time to go relax, find a heating pad, and some ibuprofen, and just chill. So y'all have a great week, and we'll catch you on the next one. Tuesday, unless something else changes, we'll kick this pig again. So see you then.